That's right. Oh, my voice is struggling. It's been a long night. That's right. Welcome in, welcome back, folks, to a Notre Dame gets beat more soundly than I think the final score almost indicated it felt like to me. Ohio State wins championship. Notre Dame's magical run comes to an end. Edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, thanks for being here. You can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Appreciate it very much. Give the video a thumbs up. That helps Johnny out. Notifications on that way you don't miss nothing. Twitter, search bar Always Irish or at Always Irish Inc. Emails alwaysirishnd@gmail.com. Audio only. Anywhere you want it, you can get it. If you don't want to see my face, nobody blames you for that. Call-in lines are popping. Everybody's mad. 312-900-8815. Dial it up. Tell me all the unfortunate football you heard and seen in this one. Notre Dame Fighting Irish brought to you by SI. Read all about it. Patreon.com/alwaysirish. Goolsby and Clark going to have to do a film breakdown on this one, and there's going to be a lot to cover. All right, guys. It's over. It's over. Notre Dame's magical run after Northern Illinois. 13 wins in a row, biggest winning streak in the country, 9 of them in a row by double digits, 3 playoff wins, the magical run, getting it done undermanned, getting it done injured, getting it done with certain position groups that aren't quite where we need them to be. You learned that is good enough to get you to the final game, but if you want to hoist the trophy, you need more than that. That's something I've learned. I'm trying to process. I just got done with the call-in show. I have a pounding migraine. When I get up tomorrow, I get to go put the family dog down. So my head's spinning. But I think that's one of the takeaways that I have. The way Notre Dame did it, flawed and banged up, was good enough to get you to the final 2, but not good enough to get you over the hump. And therein lies some lessons Notre Dame needs to look at and learn. One of them, they got 14 5-stars in their roster, and you have 1, is the latest stat that I saw. Anybody going to tell me that didn't rear its head here and be a difference? Some of the depth issues caused by injury, like all the stuff you worried about entering and through this playoff run kind of came to a head in this game against a team with this much talent that's rolling. I think the lack of depth up front defensively hurt you. I don't know. So listen, whatever we did was good enough to get to the final 2, but if you want to get over the hump, you got to figure some more things out. That is a big lesson learned. I also think that 2 things can be true at once. We're all frustrated. We're all mad. We're all sad. We all don't want to see Ohio State people have this joy, whatever, all of that. That's all true and fair, and we're all feeling it, and we're all going through that. But that doesn't mean no progress was made this year because we lost this game. And when I say that on the call-in show, all the chatters are saying, you're making excuses, John, and now you're changing the bar. Now you're okay with losing. Both things can be true at once. You're devastated we didn't get over the hump. And also, a lot of progress was made here. You won 3 more postseason games that matter in this year alone than you've done in 30 years combined. That's progress. Did you get over the hump? No, but it doesn't mean you're starting way back. Both things can be true at the same time. I really want to thank you guys all year for all the engagement, all the calls, all the chats, all the debates, all of that stuff. I want to thank you guys, man. We're growing. We're building. The brand's getting a different level of reach than I've had in different places. Like, this community's trending in the right way. And it isn't because of me. It's because of you. So as we get into this, I want to thank everybody that's gone along for this ride. None of it happens without you guys. And so we're going to keep growing this thing. We're going to have a hell of a party at the blue and gold game, which seems like it's only a few weeks away, as late as the season went. But we're growing, and I owe that to you guys. So thank you very much for all your support and contribution. Congratulations to Notre Dame. They had a really strong year, a surprisingly strong year after what happened in week 2. Again, I think a lot of major strides were taken by the program. I think you broke through some barriers that have been hanging over our head, getting the big bowl game thing out of the way. Progress was made. I understand right now, though, nobody wants to hear about it. That's fine, but I'm throwing it out there. You don't have to be open to hearing about it now. But when the dust settles on the emotions of this, I hope that's one of the takeaways. The program's making strides, trending in the right direction. You were banged up and a flawed football team in certain ways, even if you weren't banged up, and you made it to the final 2. I wanted this so bad for everyone. I wanted this so bad for everybody, man. So I think you just learned you're still little ways away. You're not as far as you've been, not as far as I thought. You're closer than I thought. But there's still work to be done for you to hoist the ultimate trophy, man. That's a big lesson to be learned. You're just not quite there yet. Now, here's a question, too, for the group. How much of this game do you account to like Notre Dame not playing as well as you're used to seeing them play? And what percentage of this outcome is just because Ohio State's really darn talented and they played really good? Like, that would be the question I have of like, how much of this was Notre Dame and how much of this was Ohio State? I got to tell you, man, of all the ways this game could have gone, like gameplay wise, of all the different avenues it could have went, I did not have on my list Notre Dame's defense cannot stop Ohio State one time in the first half. And allowed 6 for 6 on third downs. I think Howard was like 14 of 15 passing in the first half. They had like 250 yards of offense or something. Like, of all the different ways this could have gone, I don't think I would have bet any amount of money that the defense would not be able to get off the field whatsoever in that critical, like, end of the first quarter, second quarter thing where they distanced themselves from us. And let's be honest, the offense didn't help out either after the first drive, which was, that's the other frustrating thing. If Notre Dame was going to win, this game started out exactly on the roadmap Notre Dame would need it to have start out for it to win. A 10-minute touchdown drive. That was the exact recipe for Notre Dame to win this game, is more of that. But then they get the ball, and every time they get the ball, they're going right down the field. And until the big bomb that sealed the game, it wasn't even really these deep passes we were all worried about. Man, I'm telling you, I was having Gary Gray, Ambrose Wooden flashbacks. You're in a championship game, and their guys are catching the ball, and there's not even a Notre Dame defender on the screen, on the TV screen. Multiple times, by the guy caught the ball. There wasn't one Notre Dame player on my TV. How? Uncle Al, don't do it to me, Al. How? Bro? And, Notre Dame tried to come back and they were within a score late and all this stuff, but it's like You did what you couldn't do to Ohio State. Let them get ahead by a couple scores to where you have to chase in a panic. That's what you can't do, and you let them do it. You talk about Notre Dame in the playoff owning the end of the second quarter, the beginning of the third quarter. Opposite happened this time. Oh, maybe they'll settle down after halftime and blah, 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 blah. And then you give up that run all the way down. Like, so I just think everything you were worried about with Notre Dame caught up to Notre Dame. The injury issues, the depth issues, certain position groups not being good enough. You don't have 14 5-stars like your opponent does. Like, I'm sorry. It all added up, and you are asking yourself going into this game, with all of those issues, can Notre Dame really pull this off and get a championship? The answer is no. The answer is no. And so now this program needs to look at the areas where you're deficient and you got ground to make up. Whatever, you made it to the final two. If you want to hoist a trophy, I think you need more than 1 5-star or 0, depending on what service. I just think it's a fact. Credit to Ohio State, man. They got hot. That Michigan thing was a nightmare for them. They flipped a switch and it worked. Whatever, man. You don't have to like Ryan Day, but you got to give him credit. They coached better and they played better and they had a better roster than Notre Dame and they won the championship. It's probably exactly what should happen. Exactly what should happen. So it's frustrating. Let's look at a couple of these stats. Ohio State, 9 of 12 on third downs, man. 6 of 6 in the first quarter, or the first half. 6 of 6 in the first half. It's unbelievable that a Notre Dame defense couldn't do anything to get off the field. You weren't, when you bring pressure, you're not getting there. When you don't bring pressure, you're giving up run yardage. That quarterback ran way too much. Like nobody at Notre Dame even must have thought that guy would run at all. It was annoying to me how much yardage he got. We weren't even looking for him at all. And it looked like they knew that we weren't going to look for him to run at all because it was there for him whenever they needed it. 9 of 12 on third downs, 445 yards of offense. 17 of 21 passing for an 11-yard average. They rushed it for 214 for 5 yards per. Like, you're not going to win the championship with allowing them numbers. You're just not. You need a better, deeper defensive line. You need. And you know what's really messing with me, man? Is Ohio State just so good that even our secondary that's supposed to be the strength of the team looked completely clueless all night? Guys look like they didn't even know where to line up. There's open people. There's busted coverage, and it's the last game of the year. It's the last game of the year, and they had guys open all over, and we're pointing at it in the last game of the year. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? In the last game, bro? Look at some of the Notre Dame numbers, man. You're 5 of 12 on third down. They were 9 of 12. That's a big difference there. 308 total yards, 255 passing. Probably surprises people because you're not usually a passing team. And then you get behind and then you got to pass more. I get how it goes. 50. Dude. 53 yards rushing for Notre Dame. I know you were behind and you had to throw more, but 53 yards. Are you outside your mind? You're not winning a championship running it for 53 yards, bro. You're just not. And then here's something else I want to see. Explain this to me. Explain this to me. Notre Dame rushing. I know you got behind by a couple scores early. Jadarian Price 3 carries for 13 yards. Jeremiah Love, 4 carries for 3 yards and a long of 2 yards. Like, Riley Leonard, 17 carries for 40 yards. But Price and Love had 7 carries for 16 yards. That's almost, you almost can't even believe it. Horrific. Oh, you were behind, whatever. Bro. Come on, man. So frustrating. Great out showed up. Good for him, man. He showed up. It's just Ohio State. 214 rushing, 231 receiving. I like that balance. I like that split. And I'm sorry, man. It looked like they were the better coach team tonight. It looked like they had more athletes tonight. It looked like they were healthier tonight. And they didn't make as many like little mistakes that Notre Dame did. They had the fumble, but I just mean like these snap to snap little mistakes, not lining up right. I don't think Notre Dame tackled particularly well, especially early. They were getting some contact, not getting guys down. You get them backed up a little bit, and then Oben gets the stupid shot on the quarterback. Like, you can't do those things and beat this team. You already had to thread a needle and almost be perfect to do it anyways. It's just super frustrating because you're just like, this is not the team we've seen most of this year. The program overall has taken a lot of steps forward, but large portions of parts of this game did feel like big game old Notre Dame. Like not being able to get them off the field the entire first half. That's like old school Notre Dame in a big game moment. You don't belong. You just have no shot out there. I'd like to think Notre Dame's better than that, but they didn't play better than that. And that's where I'm wondering again, how much of the percentage of this you guys are going to say Notre Dame's at fault versus Ohio State did good, right? That division. So I wanted this, and I'm totally miserable. I'm totally frustrated. I just wonder when the dust settles and the emotions calm down, where this is going to be at in the Notre Dame niche. And I think my early sense on it is where it needs to be is this program's taken major strides forward, enough to make it in the final 2 teams standing. But you got a lot more work to do if you want to hoist that trophy. And better injury luck is a part of that too, guys. Like, it isn't just you need to recruit all these 5-star. Like, better injury luck's a part of it too. But I think you need more 5-star athletes if you want to hoist that trophy. The try hard rally, we're going to do it. What it got you to this game. I don't know if it could get you over the top unless you play perfect. Better health, more star talent. D-line improvement. Passing game needs to be way better, I think. You can't be one-dimensional and try and win one of these games against this kind of roster. So that's the takeaway, I think. A lot of progress was made. Program trending in the right direction. But you got a lot of things you need to get better at if you want to hoist the ultimate trophy. Bitterly disappointed. My day tomorrow is going to be worse than the day today. So it ain't getting any better for me. But I'll finish with the program's trending in the right direction. I'm bitterly frustrated and hurt by this result and how we played. And I thank all of you guys, all of your participation, all your donations, all your calls, all your chats, your comments, reading my articles. Like, this whole thing is growing a lot, and it's all because of you guys. And so the next thing is Blue and Gold tailgate. We're going to have a big one, and we'll blow it up and have a good party and hug each other and say, let's get them next year. So Very frustrating for Notre Dame. Hand it to Ohio State, man. They played great, and they have great talent, and they won the championship, and they beat us. Love you guys. Have a good one.